So, can you guys talk a little bit about how the idea of JITLI started?
In 2000, when San Diego had this connection with Shahar Negev, the region in Israel right near the Gaza border, the mayor of Shahar Negev at the time, Shai Hermesh, was very interested in creating a leadership program for young people. The idea of bringing all these teenagers together, especially with peace right around the corner, was very exciting. So if we can bring the Palestinian teenagers from Gaza and the Jewish teenagers from Shahar Negev, the Bedouin teenagers from Segev Shalom, American teenagers together, peace happens, walls, fences come down, they all get to know each other. So that was really the genesis of starting the whole JITLI program.
How has JITLI changed from the year 2000 to the present?
Well, I think we've been able to get a lot deeper. The first year we did it, we did just Spain and Israel. We had Palestinians and Jews, but no Bedouins. The second year we had uh, Bedouins, but no Palestinians. And so the groups have changed back and forth a little bit. But I think we've been able to establish a good relationship with the communities so that it's not as hard to find people to go on the trip, that we're trusted in the communities. How do we educate people, and particularly the teenagers and the future generations, so that they have the information and the mindset and the vision to do great things. And so JITLI has affected us in a way that we're able to see that happen. That's exciting to see participants from year one come back and talk about what's happened to them.
It affects our kids and who they meet. It's affected us in many different ways.
But very positive.
I know a lot more people than if I was just a tourist. So I feel like that's part of my home. It's another home away from home.
And it is actually amazing how many people you meet around the world that know about JITLI or have known or are related to somebody who's been in JITLI. Yeah, we've been in on the train to Machu Picchu, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, my nephew was on the program." So it's kind of amazing how widespread it's become. I think JITLI has affected San Diego in general because I think the American teenagers have gone through it, have gotten a broader understanding of some of the other issues in the world, and a deeper understanding. And so when they're in their schools, going back to their schools and seeing what's happening, I think they're more liable to actually take a stand, speak out, and try and make change.
Also, there's a trickle-down system. The kids that have gone on the program have written essays on it, and so the teachers read the essays, and then so the word spreads that way as well. So it's spreading up and laterally and down to the older generation because they read the essays and they hear about the program.
And despite the economic downfall, why exactly do you still sponsor JITLI so much?
Well, it's actually even more important to do it now. In fact, in 2002, I think it was, Newsweek reported that only 200 American teenagers went to Israel that summer. We were 12 of them. So, and that was because of the Intifada, obviously not the economics. But even now, during the economic downturn, it's critically important to continue programs like this because if you have a gap, then it's much harder to pick it up again. And so, we've done ways, obviously, to make it a little more cost efficient by having all 3 weeks in Israel instead of trying to make people travel all over the world. But it's important to keep it going because everybody needs it. He needs it.
So, can you make an estimation of how many JITLI members and their families there are now?
Well, let's see. We're in year 11. So we know we've had,
30 the first year and then 40 after that.
Yeah. So there's, if you include family members, there's clearly over 1,000 people directly affected by the program.
But if you don't, it's just participants.
Yeah, then you're closer to 500, 600, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So if it's 500, 600 participants, then you're probably even more over a couple of thousand people being affected by it.
Where do you see JITLI in 10 years from now?
Well, I think hopefully in 10 years from now, we'll see some real results from the people who are in the initial years. JITLI is really an investment in the future because we're investing in 17-year-olds who obviously can't change the world at that time, that can do small pieces as they've started to do in terms of, again, getting to know each other, having their communities work together, not spreading animosity, but spreading tolerance and spreading coexistence and spreading being able to work together and live together. But to really affect global change and governmental change, it's going to take some time for them to get there. So hopefully in 10 years, the participants that were in the first, second, third, fourth years will be getting into positions that can make those kind of changes.